with you.
I thought she was with you.
The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. I'm talking about Batman versus Superman. And this is what you wear when you go watch Batman versus Superman, because like many teen girls, I can't choose between Team Edward and Team Jacob. So how am I supposed to choose between Team Batman and Team Superman? Now, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice is a movie we've been waiting a long time to see. Even since it was first announced, we've had to wait an extra year. This movie was supposed to come out last summer, so this movie should be sitting on our Blu-ray shelves by now, but here it's just now hitting theaters, as the filmmakers needed an extra amount of time when they figured out they want to take the route of the Justice League to integrate story details such as Wonder Woman and Aquaman to build this bigger universe. So now, here we are, we're finally going to see the final product of Batman taking on Superman, meeting on the big screen for the first time, really launching off this DC cinematic universe. Even though Man of Steel is the first movie in this series of movies, this one really bringing all the pieces together and setting events in motion that will take us through into the Justice League movies and these characters and their solo movies like The Flash and Cyborg and and the Green Lantern Corps, and all these characters will be introduced down the road as we form the Justice League. Hopefully the story works really well, as they've had extra time to develop it. I hope all the characters are solid. I know every time a new character seemed to be announced when this movie was being put into production was met with such backlash, from Ben Affleck to Jared Leto as the Joker. Even though he's not in this movie, he still was met with some questionability, and he'll meet Batman down the road later this year in Suicide Squad. But also Gal Gadot and Jesse Eisenberg, when they were cast, lit the internet on fire. So hopefully everything falls directly into place, since we'll be following these characters for so long, for so many movies. I hope everything comes together and they knock it out of the park. So, here we are. We're going to go watch Batman vs. Superman. I hope we can put all the DC versus Marvel fanboyisms aside for this movie and just enjoy a good movie. Because remember, guys, a rising tide lifts all ships. So just enjoy the movie. If this one does well, then there's no reason that Marvel can't do well, that Fox can't do well. So we should all just sit back and enjoy the finished products and enjoy it as comic book fans. Let's go check out Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Well, here we are. Batman vs. Superman is officially in the past. We've seen it, and now we're going to review it. Spoiler talk ahead, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead, save this video, come back to it, but we're going to talk heavy spoilers, and we're just going to go ahead and go right into the major spoiler that I think everyone's going to take away from the end of this movie. They went the old Star Wars Force Awakens route. Han Solo is dead, and so is Superman. Superman is dead at the end of this movie. He is buried 6 feet under. So I had to get that off my chest. I'm joined here with my friend Caleb. I wanted to say the spoiler before he did. But he decided to take on this movie with me, this 2.5 hour long movie that made the most of every single minute that was on screen. And it could have went on for 3+ hours. And I wouldn't even have had a problem with that just because the storytelling was so rich. I'll get into a little bit of my review here in a minute. I'm going to pass it off to Caleb, who's going to say a few words.
Yeah.
What did you think of the monumental thing that is Batman vs. Superman?
Well, yeah. I liked it. I mean, they did a really good job of cramming everything in this movie. I mean, it didn't feel overwhelming. I mean, they showed origins of like all the Justice League that they're going to put in the show, and they did it so well that I didn't feel like, oh man, this movie just overloaded my brain and there's too much going on. No, it felt fluid and everything, and also, you know, they just did it well. I mean, I'm surprised. And also Ben Affleck for Batman, that is amazing. I mean, I thought he was going to be like, drop the ball. We were going to be like, Ben Affleck sucks. No, it was like, Ben Affleck good. So, you know, that's my take. I love all of that and plus more. So what about you, Shane?
Yeah, Ben Affleck stood out. Definitely Gal Gadot, or however you say her name. I'm sure everybody says it differently. Jesse Eisenberg and his level of insanity to Lex Luthor. None of these characters are any version you've seen before. Not the Linda Carter version of Wonder Woman on TV. Not the Smallville version of Lex Luthor. Not the old Richard Donner version Superman of Lex Luthor. All these characters were made their own in such a way where you are anxious now to see more of them. You don't know where they come from, really. and you don't know where they're going, and you want to see both stories unfold. So I had a great time with this movie. Zack Snyder, as a director, does some of the best amazing shot work of all time. His shots tell a lot without saying a word, which is exactly what a director needs to do. And he was probably the perfect choice for a movie such as this, because a lot of directors would not even consider attempting a movie of this size to take Batman and Superman, the two most recognizable comic book characters of all time, put them in a movie, try to establish a Justice League universe within that movie, also, developing Lex Luthor and all these other side characters as well, was a task that not anyone could have done, and I think he did a fantastic job. What else you got for us?
Well, also, I think that how they went in the direction of telling Batman's story, they pretty much, did the iconic beginning, and, they did it well, and also how Batman actually doesn't even live in the house. That was crazy that he's not even in the manor. I mean, they didn't even tell us what happened. They just, he's off somewhere away from the house in his own place, and it looks cool, and he still got the Bat Cave, and the Bat Cave is, like, amazing. So, yeah, like, I'm gonna be talking about Batman all the time, because Batman his character was just so good in this, and I was surprised. And I love Superman. Superman movie, Man of Steel, amazing. So, you can't go wrong with Superman when, you already have a thing set up for him. Also, go Kansas.
Yeah, it's fun to live in Kansas and have Kansas get its good old name drop. That was always a fun one in Man of Steel. And they're like, I grew up in Kansas, can't get much more American than that. And so you got to give a round of applause. And I think they do mention some, click your heels 3 times and Superman went back to Kansas.
Yeah.
It's like, everybody... I'm sure that plays everywhere else. Here in Kansas, we kind of roll our eyes like, oh, I know, we're just known for the one Wizard of Oz movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad these movies make it well known that Superman is from there, so hopefully we can get some traction for that and get away from the Wizard of Oz jokes.
Yeah.
So it's like, we also have Superman. Don't forget that. You're welcome, rest of the world. One thing that else stands out is the tone of this movie. Like Man of Steel, darker tone. Color saturation was a lot darker, but the tone itself was just unlike any Batman or Superman other than Man of Steel that you've ever seen before. If you're going into this, you're like, you couldn't get a more polar opposite than Adam West Batman. Or even, Michael Keaton is probably as close as they got, maybe a little Christian Bale, but none of that, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever. Batman is back, and he's not afraid to take a life. Not to the fact where he's like killing people per se, but there's people that get caught up in collateral damage. So if you are what he would classify as a villain, then he has no remorse for you. But he would never put it innocent in harm way. So much like Michael Keaton back in the day, he dropped the Joker off the top of the building in that first one. So Batman is historically, he's taken lives. It wasn't until the Christopher Nolan movies that he kind of developed the we don't take a life type of mentality.
Yeah.
But he does so, and it caught me off guard at first because I was still in that Christopher Nolan mindset. But during that first car chase, and I was like, he crashes into this car right out of the gate. I was like, no, those people are dead. They won't be in the Batman vs Superman 2. So the tone is different. I can see where it could be off-putting for some people. If you're taking your kid to this to see a campy, fun Batman movie, or even a stage less than what this one is. Christopher Nolan was serious, but you can still have fun with it. This one is just be prepared that you're going to encounter some serious tones. You're going to see some deaths, and not just Batman killing people, but you're going to see like the Wayne parents getting murdered at the beginning, and that's that's right in the first 3 minutes, and that's a gut wrenching scene. You have here it is this innocent woman with a gun right in her face, and when the eyes, her eyes, when the life escapes from her eyes, you're right there in the first 3 minutes. You're faced with all these emotional things, and the movie doesn't let up from there. No. So I guess we should go ahead and rate this. I got to give it an A. Yeah. This movie was. I had my worries on trying to just compact so much into one movie and where they would go. And I know we talk about how DC historically does not do well with their properties. When we have Green Lantern, Jonah Hex, past Batman movies, Catwoman, we can go on and on and on about how sometimes they don't treat their movies right. But it seems like they have a good direction now, and they're sticking with it. Suicide Squad up next. Looks like it's going to keep the same type of tone that this movie's setting. You can believe, at least from the trailer, that all those characters can live in the same universe and have encountered this version of Batman. Yeah. So, what was your final rating?
It was an A because I went into this and I had low standards for this movie. I thought it was going to be bad from the get-go. I was like already shooting it down. But now that I know it was good, it means that another high up here on my list of good movies. And I just like that. So, you know, when this is all done and said, when they start making other ones, it's going to be up in the air still. Because sometimes they can make a good one, and then sometimes they can make a bad one. And I'm hoping it was going to be good for everyone that they make after this. Because, yes, you're right. The direction is good right now. So, yeah, let's do it.
Good deal. Batman vs. Superman. Caleb, thanks for joining me. Thanks for going to the movies with me and taking on this review with me. I couldn't have done it alone.
Yeah.
If Batman gets a partner, then I think I get a partner too.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming with me.
Yeah.
Until next time, this is Red Review, guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Go out and check out Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.